will go, there is a long queue to talk with Lucy Chow. Why? Because she is the person who knows everything about the money, everything about investment, but she is also the person who helps people to stand up, to start their businesses. She's the one who is giving them money, believe it or not. So Lucy Chow, she is working as in the World Business Angel Forum in the investment committee, angel investment fund. But I think it will be great if Lucy will introduce herself, because she has 22 posts and she's just extremely famous for money and for helping people. Please, dear Lucy, happy to see you.
Olga, thank you so much for having me, and what a lovely introduction. Please, yes, allow me to just talk a little bit more about my focus and areas of passion. So I am very involved in the innovation space, both in terms of supporting founders and as an investor. Within the World Business Angels Forum, I do hold various roles. I should mention that the WBAF is an affiliated partner of the G20 Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion, which means we collaborate globally to empower the economic development of the world. So I'm the Secretary General for the Global Women Leaders Committee. Our chair is Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic, who was the first woman president of Croatia. As well, I am a senior senator for the UAE, and as you had mentioned, an executive on the investment committee with the WBAF Angel Investment Fund.
That is wonderful. Dear Lucy, my first question to you. You support a lot of women, and I know that, of course, it's not that you support only women to build their businesses, but your focus is on women, and you're the one who giving them money to start their startups, to start their dream, to start their business. Tell me, please, I know that for you it's not easy, and in one of your articles you said very often you can even lose money because you never know. It's a risky business, but you're still doing it, you're still helping women, you're still helping in entrepreneurs. When I only came to United Arab Emirates and start doing conferences, women SME, everybody told me, Olga, talk to Lucy. If it's about money, talk to Lucy. Tell me, please, how you help people and why you give money to some investors and you don't give it to others.
Sure. I want to, talk about how focused I am on encouraging more women to become investors and to have the financial confidence to invest in entrepreneurs and startups. And you're right, not only, all entrepreneurs, deserve to see their businesses come to life. So, typically the word investor has always been largely associated with a male-dominated world, and you and I talked about that quite a bit, but times are changing. Things need to change. And one way to ensure more funding is given to female entrepreneurs is to ensure women making the funding decision are women, right? So in early stage venture capital, it's still dominated by men. And I think there is an unconscious bias, really, in particular, the tech space, because when you ask people to name successful tech entrepreneurs, the names they given are typically Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page, Elon Musk. And so therefore, I think unconsciously people are looking for other entrepreneurs that fit that mold. So what we need to do is to, we need to actively seek to add more women, whether they become general partners or women into investment committees or women angels, so that they themselves may eventually start their own VCs. So it's all providing a pipeline to the future. So I spend a lot of time, making sure it's important as a female investor to maintain a visible presence.
I know that in United Arab Emirates, in Dubai, for the world, for people who are not from Dubai and United Arab Emirates, they think that women there are behind men, that women, they're wearing abaya, they're sitting in the house, they're having 5 kids. Yes,
Right.
that is so, but they are also very ambitious, and there are a lot of startups in United Arab Emirates. Can you tell me what is going on in that region? Do you think it is
Yes.
a region that is booming, or it's what is the potential of that region?
Yes, no, we were very excited in a recent Magnet report. In 2020, MENA saw investments in the startup space exceed 1 billion US. Now, in lots of markets, that's not a huge number, but for us, that's substantial. And it's proving that there are more funds also from the outside coming into MENA, but also we are seeing investment in later stages of startups. So it's important that, yes, you have the money at the startup stage, but then we need the growth capital. So, in again, going back to the Magnet report, we're seeing that yes, there is funding in the startup stage, but what we're also seeing is a bit more of a maturation of our ecosystem here. And going to your point about the women, I think you're absolutely right. There's a huge misperception of the role of women and how active they are here. And I'll speak specifically to the UAE, but this applies to other countries, the MENA also. So, for instance, in our cabinet, over 50% of the ministers, the positions held, are held by women in the UAE. And you would know about the recent Hope mission to Mars. And I believe the scientists, I believe there were 70% of the team of scientists that made that mission possible were women. So this is just two statistics to give you an idea of really how far ahead we are compared to actually other developed nations.
This is absolutely incredible. United Arab Emirates going to space. Women are running the rockets, Sputniks. It sounds like unbelievable, but there's so many things unbelievable that already happening due to COVID times. So we have a lot of unbelievable things, and that is only one of them. Lucy, I know that is not your level. You are very up high in the mountains. You were vice president of HSBC Bank. You are turning millions and milliards, but for the small investors, for people who just starting investing, and especially for women who never did it, but they understood it's time to do it.
Yes.
What are the first steps, like ABC, what you should do if you want to start investing some money for your future, for your pension, for your family, for your kids? What are the first steps? As many people are just afraid doing that because they said, I don't understand investment, I don't understand money, it's not for me.
Okay, no, I love that question because I think we need to start somewhere. And so, in terms of my own personal journey, I started with the Women's Angel Investor Network. So this was the first investor network for women in the MENA region, and we set it up to help build an ecosystem for women investors to support women entrepreneurs in the Arab world. So what you need to first do, depending on where your listeners are based, there's obviously angel networks all over the world, and they just need to start reaching out to those angel networks. And I say start with angel networks because angels are the first money into a company. So typically the ticket size is small, right? And one thing you need to know is that you need to be comfortable investing what you're willing to lose, because this is the most risky part of investing in a startup at the very early stages. Now, a lot of angel investor networks also teach their investors how to invest. So there's a whole educational component tied in to angel investing. And this is what we built into Wayne. So we did courses. We had sessions on how to do due diligence on a company. How do you evaluate a company how do you determine whether it's investable or not? How do you determine this company from that company? What should you be looking for in a pitch? How do you analyze the financial data? So and again, because of COVID, there's a lot of free information and courses that are available where you can start learning yourself. But the best way by to learn is by doing. So I would just say seek out and learn. And again, the whole point is to start investing small amounts you don't mind losing, And as you get more comfortable, you will start investing more. This is what we're seeing in all the different networks.
A lot of people now investing into shares, and even housewives, they start studying that. They say, okay, we invest in BMW or Daimler Chrysler or Volkswagen. I'm sorry, I'm in automobile business, so all my mind is in the
Yes.
cars and in electric cars, and that's why I'm surrounded by that people and by that. But how you
Yeah.
will recommend for these people, just to start? You will tell them, oh, just go and risk that money, no problem. At least you will know. You will tell them, think about what will be after 20 years from now. You will not always be 40 or 30. What is
Sure.
your recommendation? Should they try doing that, or you will say, no, no, leave it for your husband, it's not
No,
for
no.
you?
We think it's very important for women to take ownership of their financial independence. Number one, right? Number two, you should start investing early. And I loved your example of the equity markets. That is a way of investing. And every financial advisor will tell you that you need to diversify your portfolio, right? So you should be investing in equities, bonds, and then what we're doing, the angel investing space, being an angel is a whole other way of investing. It's much more direct, right? You're not relying on a stock market or so forth. You're investing directly with a company and with founders. But when you do the math, the earlier you start investing, and let's just talk about putting money on a monthly basis into some sort of a portfolio, you will see over time that when you started earlier, you're going to gain later. You're going to gain more later in life. So there's financial advisors obviously that can give you that advice. But again, I would encourage women to go online. There are many fabulous websites that again are free that will and networks that will help you start feeling comfortable investing money. So one I really recommend is um, take a look at Elevate and see their advice.
Elevate.
Yes,
Okay, that is wonderful. Tell me, please, why you give money to some of startups and you don't give it to others? How do you choose whom you will
sure.
support?
Okay, so I'll go. This is $1 million question. So we understand that every angel is different, and so as an investor, you need to know what you prioritize. What makes a startup stand out? What's the most important part of a pitch, for instance? Now, typically at a pitch event where there's a lot of male investors, a lot of the discussion goes straight to money, to the valuation of the company. And it's a lot about the numbers. Now, this is very important, of course it is. But I think what what I focus on, and honestly, other investors, male and female, will tell you they really focus on the founding team, the founders. Can they execute what they say they will do? Do they interact well with each other? Are they a good team? If there's more than one founder, are they coachable? Now, we really do feel it's important. I really feel it's important to have more than one founder. You know how lonely and hard it is to start your own business. And also, one person cannot have all the skill sets it takes to scale a business. So it's important to see that there's at least two founders. Secondly, is there a minimum viable product, an MVP, we call it? Meaning, is it just an idea or is there actually something physical, tangible, a service? Is there some sort of traction? Is the company even making, a few hundred dirhams a month? I'll say dirhams or a few hundred, maybe they have started, if they're a service, they can prove that the client numbers are going up, or if they're a website, they can prove that the hits are going up. And of course, thirdly, market opportunity. What is and how large is the market that they're trying to address, and is the marketing plan sound?
That is wonderful. It's a huge topic. We cannot cover it in 20 minutes, of course, but just we were running on the points just for people to think, maybe start investing, maybe to find angel investors, maybe it's a new future, maybe you can just take other angle and think about that and don't think, oh, money, it's not for me. Money is for all of us because all of us, we want to eat, we want to take our kids to school, we will think that is our necessity. So I think everybody should be invested at this level or at that level.
Okay.
My last question to you is about something completely different. As you, Lucy, you have a lot of roles. You're an investor. You are a person who supports others to start businesses. You're a mentor. You're advisor. You are one of the most influential women who is admitted by Arabic Business Magazine 2021. You are among, leaders who are running and who definitely is a great leader. Also, you are a mother who is paying a very big attention to the child. And now I know that you are very interested in the topic of e-gaming, which is completely different from investors. I know that people are going mad about their kids in the games. They think that they're losing time, losing their sightseeing, losing their communication. And I was surprised that you studied this topic. So can you tell me a few words as you're launching your book on e-gaming soon? What do you think about e-gaming?
Sure. Let's start with the fact. So essentially, esports, which is video games played competitively, and the video market is worth more as an industry than the sports, film, and music industries combined. Okay, so that gives you an idea, and the listeners an idea of how large the market opportunity is in esports and gaming. I wrote the book because I felt that there was a real stigma around gaming, and you're absolutely right. As a parent, we're like, how is it beneficial that my child is playing games for so many days or so many hours in the day? But I ask a few questions. Are you a parent that wants your child to be gainfully employed in the future? Are you an educator that wants to balance technology and STEM to ensure the development of positive life skills? Are you an investor that's keen to understand the revenue opportunities related to this industry? There are 38 contributors in the book, ranging from psychologists, educators, entrepreneurs to students. And the whole point is to allow the reader to understand the impact esports has had on the business world and how mainstream it's become.
So, if we're saying it in few words, you're saying that it's not that there is a huge potential. And let's say if your child is in the e-gaming, don't think that he's losing his time, he's not doing any career. Maybe it's a fantastic future, like what Elon Musk is doing. For some
Sure.
people, it's unbelievable business. For some people think he's doing something crazy. So
Yes,
maybe e-gaming, it's a future possibilities we don't see yet. Yeah.
yes, no, and so Olga, you and I both care about the future of work and ensuring our kids are equipped to contribute to a rapidly changing world. And you've heard that 2 decades from now, 50% of the jobs have not even been invented. I am positive, and I know that the future of work lies in the e-gaming sector. And so, there are lawyers that specialize only in the esports industry, right? If you can be an urban planner, a musician, a psychologist, you will find gainful employment in this industry. That's a very important takeaway.
This is actually very interesting. Lucy, you always surprise me how you manage to combine that many roles and to be very active, because I noticed that some people in these COVID times, they lose this energy, the atmosphere, and even the desire to continue. But you're not doing that. So as your comment for Hidden Hero platform, for people maybe who are heroes, but still hidden by some reasons, what you will recommend to our viewers, to people who watch you, who will watch you later, how to find power and spirit in this time?
That's such a difficult question, Olga. I think thank you again because doing what you're doing So one of the things I was told early on during COVID, it's not something I said, was share everything you know, which I love. So I have been sharing what I know, what little I think I know, and you're doing this obviously through Hidden Heroes, which is fabulous. But what if also you're someone that feels like I need to understand and I need to grow more? Then that means you should consume, right? You should try to consume more to enrich yourself, right? To grow yourself to the next stage. And that can be done through again platforms like yours. I also have a video series called Down to Business with Lucy Chow. You can find that on YouTube. But there's so much we can do just to not stagnate, right? So whether it's us sharing out or us consuming, just not to stagnate and to continue to broaden our knowledge.
I would like to thank you very much and to say, Lucy, that you surprised me very much. Recently, we met in Dubai at one of the events, and I came late and I was staying alone at the corner at the table. And you come to me, or you ran to me, you made photo with me, you talked with me. And I was thinking, this Lucy, she's so young. Your energy is very young. You are much younger than people who are 20 years old by the energy and curiosity that you have in uniting people. And I think this is your big gift. I'm not talking about mathematical mind, money, talent, and everything that you have besides that, but I think that is your great talent. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. It
Thank you
was a
so
very
much,
big
Olga.
pleasure. I was
It was
so
my
happy
it
to
was
see you.
happy that I met you that day. Thank you so much.